we're going to have a look at a forward bay park. Now, this forward bay park exercise on any tests will only ever be done in a public car park. So you'll be asked to drive into a public car park and you'll be asked to drive forwards into either a bay on your left hand side or your right. It'll be your choice. They just ask you to drive forwards into a bay of your choice. Then they ask you to reverse back out again and drive back out of the car park. So shouldn't be too difficult. When you have two rows of bays next to each other with a white line separating them, it's very important that you don't go into the second set of bays beyond the white line. So imagine the white line that's separating the two rows of bays as a little wall or whatever you want there, but you mustn't go over it into the other bays when you're performing this maneuver. I've picked the bay that I've given myself at least the width of a car's distance away, and I've picked the bay that I'm going to use. So I've checked my mirrors here. I'm going to have a little right hand check there, nobody there, before I turn into this bay. And as I come round, I start to unwind the steering as I feel I need to, coming in, and I stop here. So I've stopped before going into the next bay. That's what I was talking about before. I mustn't go into one of those bays. There was a white line between, and that's it. So I'm between the lines, which is great. Into reverse. Now, if there were vehicles either side of me here, I would have to reverse back really until the bonnet was in line with the rear of the vehicles before I started turning to the left to come round. But if there are no vehicles here, I can turn left almost immediately. Okay, so I'm going to have a good look round, make sure it's completely clear around me, and I'll come out a little way just to demonstrate that. I've looked over here, I'm going to swing round, it's all safe. There's nobody anywhere near me, no pedestrians and no vehicles. So I come round, I'm going to unwind the steering. I went full lock there at that point to come out. Wheels nice and straight, handbrake, first gear. And now, this is quite often at this stage, people just think, oh, finished, and off they go, and they forget to look round. But you need a proper big look round again, making sure it's completely safe. It is, and that's it. We're on our way out of the car park. We've driven forwards into a bay, reversed back out, and we're coming back out of the car park again. With this one, if you finish, having driven in forwards, if you finish partly on one of the white lines, as long as you're not breaking the outside edge of it, you're looking at a minor fault. Okay, so they're pretty generous. They're saying, yeah, you've got to be in between the outside edges of those two white lines. Clearly you're looking to try and get it in between. You may want to set up a reference point to know when to turn in. So you can pick a line of one of the other bays and then work out when you're turning in a reference point somewhere between you and the steering wheel so that you know when to turn. But for the most part, you'll be just looking into the bay that you're turning into, and that is by far the best way to do it if you can. Imagine you're turning into a road on the right and you would turn at a similar time to turn into a bay on your right hand side.